Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rahman Hamimi and I will present to you about the introduction of our topic of study. So, nowadays, genetically modified crops are commonly used in modern technology which are mainly used in food process. Genetically modified organisms, which are simplified as GMOs, are being analyzed as a raw material in food processing. Whether it is safe or not, the product must be labeled. Aside from that, the understanding of GMOs are becoming more vital as 700 kind of food uses corn as their raw material. Foods that contain starch, flour, oil, glucose syrup, and fructose are derived from corns that are used regularly as daily consumed food. Okay, furthermore, primary food that may contain GMOs are baby food, candles, chocolate, and many more. Isolation and purification are the first step to analyze and measure GMOs product. Physical and chemical processes during the production of food sample will reduce the amount of DNA. Other than that, more DNA degradation occur when exposed to heat and on the surface of cooked food like cakes and biscuits. Thus, DNA specific isolation methods must be developed for each processed food. Different techniques that are appropriate to the structure of the sample are applied also. That is all from me.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Naufal bin Salim, and today I will present to you the process for genetically modified corn and starch. First off, the most important process is called GMO, which is genetically modified organism. GMO has become the common term consumers and popular media use to describe foods that have been created through genetic engineering. Genetic engineering is a process that involves identifying, copying, inserting, and then growing. By identifying, it means that scientists first identify what traits they want that plant to have, such as the plant is resistance to drought, herbicides, or insects. Then they find an organism, which is a plant, animal, or microorganism that already has trait within its gene. For example, in our research, the gene used is soil bacterium called Bacillus thuringiensis, or also called Bt, which produces a natural insecticide that has been in use for many years in traditional and organic agriculture. Then the next process is called copying. By copying, scientists needed to identify what traits they want that plant to have. By copying, this doesn't change the fact that the new trait does not change the other existing trait. It also, by using Bt corn, they copied the gene in Bt that would provide the insect resistance trait. The next process is called insert. In this process, the scientists use tools to insert the gene into the DNA of the plant. By inserting the Bt gene into the DNA of the corn plant, scientists give it the insect resistance trait. And after that, they need to grow it. In the laboratory, scientists grow the new corn plant to ensure it has adopted the desired trait. For example, it has insect resistance. If successful, scientists first go and monitor the new corn plant, now called BT corn because it contains a gene from Bacillus thuringiensis, in greenhouses and then in small field tests before moving it into larger field tests. GMO plants also go through in-depth review and safety tests before they are ready to be sold to farmers. That's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Fadil Shafi bin Muhammad Fodi, and now I will present about the comparison between two methods that can use to identify and determine each raw material that used in the food in the food process. So first we will look at the DNA extraction method. This is the method that we choose because it can identify the optimum combination of the DNA extraction protocols and the different food sample. It also gives the high DNA yield and also high DNA purity. So it can choose we can choose the best protocol and for each of the protocol that we will use to find the best yield and also the purity. And also the DNA extraction method and DNA isolation performed by using 6 different DNA extraction method and 2 kits. This can qualify the amount of the obtained DNA show variation depending on the food type and the process level. And next is the wet milling process. So the wet milling process is wet milling process is not commonly used because the carrier fruit used in the process or the metal is.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Afiz Sikri, and today I'll be presenting about genetically modified corn in terms of profits. So, for the first study that we researched, between 1990s, it stated that between 1996 and 2015, genetically modified crops increased global production by 357.7 million tons of corn. So the amount of corns increased compared to unmodified is 357.7 million tons for corn. In the second study, it stated that the first meta-analysis that evaluates GMO from an agronomic viewpoint. In their conclusion, the authors stated that 21 years of field data analysis revealed that GMO corn offers farmers increased grain yields, improved grain quality, and a decrease in insect damage. And for the final study that we've concluded that planting GMO corn can lead to increase in income to the farmers and a reduction of health risks to consumers of maize, basically corn. They concluded that genetically modified crops allowed an increase in yield of 6 to 25% depending on the country, with an additional benefit of reducing a substance called mycotoxin levels by 1/3. And to conclude basically from all those studies, the profit increase of genetically modified corn compared to unmodified corn can vary depending on various factors such as costs of production, market prices, and yield. In general, genetically modified corn is designed to be more resistant to pests and have a higher yield, which can result in higher profits for farmers. However, it is also important to consider the cost of producing genetically modified corn or producing genetically modified seeds, as they can be more expensive than conventional seeds. Additionally, some consumers may be willing to pay a premium for non-genetically modified products, which could negatively impact the profit margins of farmers producing genetically modified corn. Overall, the exact profit increase of GMO corn compared to unmodified corn can vary and depends on number of factors. And that is all from me. Thank you very much.